It began like any other casting announcement in the world of Korean dramas, but it soon evolved into something much more captivating. When Park Bo-gum and Kim So Hyun were announced as leads for the highly anticipated romantic thriller Good Boy, fans were thrilled. The pairing, seemingly fresh and unexpected, instantly sparked a buzz across social media. But no one anticipated just how electric their on-screen chemistry would be, or how much deeper it would run off-screen. From the first table read, whispers began to circulate among the production crew. Something about their energy was undeniable. While both actors are known for their professionalism and ability to transform into their characters, what unfolded behind the scenes of Good Boy felt different. Park Bo-gum, often dubbed Korea's national sweetheart, had a certain light in his eyes every time Kim So Hyun walked onto set. And Kim, reserved yet radiant, seemed to warm up in a uniquely relaxed way around Bo-gum. During rehearsals, the chemistry between the two leads was palpable. Directors and staff noted that they rarely needed to do more than 1 or 2 takes for emotional scenes. The connection, they said, felt real. Even in unscripted moments, the two shared lingering glances and gentle touches that seemed to blur the lines between fiction and reality. In one emotional rooftop scene, where their characters finally confront their feelings, Park Bo-gum was said to have tears in his eyes long after the director called cut. A crew member recalled, "He didn't stop looking at her." It wasn't acting anymore. The more time they spent together, the more natural their bond appeared. Bo-gum began bringing extra coffee to set, always with Kim So Hyun's preferred almond milk. Kim, in turn, started sharing behind-the-scenes clips on her social media that featured Bo-gum in candid, often endearing moments, playing guitar between takes, making silly faces, or simply sitting beside her as they ran lines together. Fans began to notice subtle clues, from matching bracelets to simultaneous Instagram updates that hinted at shared locations. In interviews, they were often asked about their working relationship. Park Bo-gum would smile, glance at Kim So Hyun, and respond with phrases like, "She makes every scene easier to perform," or "I admire her deeply." Kim, usually private, would giggle and nod, sometimes adding, "He has this way of making everyone feel seen." But it wasn't just their words that raised eyebrows, it was how they looked at each other. Whether on red carpets or during press tours, their body language told a story of its own. Subtle, respectful, yet unmistakably affectionate. They stood close, whispered to each other between questions, and occasionally exchanged glances that seemed to say much more than words ever could. What fans didn't know was that as filming progressed, Park Bo-gum was undergoing a quiet transformation. In a private interview, months after filming wrapped, Bo-gum finally offered a glimpse into what he had been feeling all along. "There's something about working with someone who challenges you, who inspires you to be better, not just as an actor, but as a person," he said. "So Hyun has that effect on me." He paused, his usually confident tone faltering just slightly. "Sometimes you meet someone in your life and you realize it's not just the character you're falling for." The interviewer, stunned, asked him to clarify. Bo-gum, ever graceful, only smiled and said, "I think some things are better felt than explained. But yes, this project changed me." The statement sent shockwaves through fan communities. Was this a subtle confession? Had Park Bo-gum just admitted to falling for his co-star? Theories exploded across Twitter, Instagram, and online forums. Fans began combing through interviews, analyzing every moment for further proof. The phrase "not just the character" became a trending hashtag within hours. Even fellow actors began to chime in. Longtime friend of Bo-gum's commented anonymously to a media outlet, "I've never seen him like this. He's always been charming, but this time feels different." It feels sincere. Kim So Hyun, meanwhile, remained publicly quiet. Smile in subsequent appearances, her glow during press events, seemed to tell its own story. At a fan meeting, when asked about her favorite memory from filming Good Boy, she paused, laughed nervously, and said, "Many. But some I think I'll keep to myself." As speculation grew, Bo-gum gave another interview, this time for a lifestyle magazine. When asked if he believed in love blossoming on set, he replied, "Why not? We're human." And sometimes the heart doesn't know the difference between a role and real life, whether intentional or not. Park Bo-gum had reignited a conversation that had simmered quietly behind the walls of the Good Boy set. What started as fanfiction-level theorizing was now being discussed in mainstream media. It wasn't just about whether they were dating. It was about whether their connection had transcended the screen in a way rarely seen in the world of K-dramas. By the end of the first part of this unfolding drama, one thing was certain: something genuine had taken root during the making of Good Boy. And for fans and observers alike, the question was no longer if but how deep. The answers, as it turns out, would come sooner than anyone expected. A few weeks after the buzz surrounding Bo-gum's revealing interview had begun to cool, another surprise dropped. A full-length exclusive sit-down interview with Park Bo-gum aired on national television. The teaser alone was enough to send social media into meltdown. The caption read, "Park Bo-gum speaks his truth." The interview, set in a quiet garden cafe in Seoul, was calm and serene, a stark contrast to the storm it was about to unleash. Bo-gum arrived dressed casually, with no stylists or entourage. He looked thoughtful, slightly nervous, very much like a man ready to be honest. After talking briefly about his career and upcoming projects, the interviewer asked the question everyone had been waiting for. During Good Boy, did you ever find yourself feeling something beyond the script? Bo-gum didn't flinch. He looked directly into the camera and said, "Yes." There was a long pause. "I did." He continued, "Working with So Hyun was more than just another acting experience. It felt meaningful. Kind of meaningful that lingers. I looked forward to going to set not just to perform, but to see her. She became my safe space." The nation held its breath. Fans gasped. The internet lit up. We had scenes where our characters fell for each other, but somewhere along the way, I stopped thinking about it as acting. It became real to me. My feelings, they became real. The interviewer, visibly moved, asked, "Did you ever tell her?" Bo-gum gave a small smile. "I think she knows. I hope she does." Meanwhile, Kim So Hyun was attending a film event in Busan. When asked by reporters about Bo-gum's statement, she laughed, blushed, and replied, "Said that? He's always been honest, hasn't he?" Later that evening, she posted a single photo on Instagram, a behind-the-scenes picture from the set of Good Boy, where she and Bo-gum were laughing under an umbrella. Caption read, "Some scenes aren't scripted." It was the confirmation fans had waited for. From there, the media frenzy grew exponentially. Hashtags like #BoHyunReal and #GoodBoyGoodLove trended worldwide. Fans created tribute videos, fellow actors tweeted support, brands scrambled to get them to co-sign endorsement deals. The line between drama and reality had officially blurred, and the world loved it. Industry insiders began to share more behind-the-scenes tales. One staffer revealed, there was a day when shooting ran long, and Bo-gum waited in the cold for hours just to walk So Hyun to her car. No cameras, no fans, just him being him. Another recalled how Kim So Hyun once brought homemade snacks for the crew, but only one bento box had Bo-gum's name written in cursive hearts. The rumors, once whispers, were now an open melody. More importantly, the pair seemed unbothered by the attention. Bo-gum continued doing interviews, time confirming his feelings with subtle but undeniable sincerity. Kim So Hyun, once reserved, began sharing more candid moments online. A video of them backstage, singing quietly together, melted hearts. Summer turned to fall, the two were seen attending an art exhibit together, their first unofficial public outing. No words were spoken. Photos said everything. Hands nearly touching, smiles that refused to fade. In a rare joint statement released weeks later, they addressed the growing curiosity. "We are grateful for the love shown to Good Boy and to us as individuals. While we value our privacy, also value the sincerity of what we shared during this project. It was, in every way, unforgettable." It wasn't a confirmation, it wasn't a denial. But for fans, it was perfect. In the world of K-dramas, fantasy often feels close to reality. But once in a while, reality dares to be even more romantic than fiction. Park Bo-gum and Kim So Hyun's journey, from co-stars to something more, reminds us that sometimes, the most beautiful stories aren't written in scripts. They're lived. Perhaps, just perhaps, this story is only